What is the Tao? I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the way I just sipped my coffee, if you know what I mean. I think the Tao is something best described as elusively obvious. It's the epitome of chasing your own tail when trying to identify it or put your finger on it. Now, the Tao has just recently been kind of coming up into my life, at least the concept of it or the study of it. I've been listening to Alan Watts a lot, and the same with Zen. Different Zen teachings, I've just been hearing this term Tao come up a lot, and I just want to share my understanding on it as of right now. So I don't know much of the origin of the Tao. I believe it had something to do with a man named Lao Tzu, something along those lines, and it's a sort of dialect of Zen, if you will. Now, to describe what it is, I feel like I could do so by also entirely describing to you what it isn't, as a sort of mockery of the all-pervasiveness that is the Tao. That the moment that I try to describe it to you, it falls into a category of simply description, and it isn't entirely processed as what it is until you are able to find yourself in it, in your very own experience, in which, when you identify that you're in it, whatever it is, it falls away. I guess you could say it might be what Buddhists are trying to attain or make as their day-to-day consciousness. But I feel like it's something you don't attain. I feel like it's much more something that is noticed and sort of reevaluated, because you've put a lot of labels and descriptions over the Tao that it doesn't appear to be anything besides what you are calling it, and from which you can't really extract anything from description. And that's the main problem in describing it, is that as with many things, it isn't a description that we're talking about. We're pointing our fingers towards something and hoping that the arrangement of words that I use to articulate this thing called Tao will suddenly produce your understanding of it. And a lot of the time it doesn't go that way, because the Tao is something beyond comprehension of analysis. For you right now, everything you can imagine and everything you are imagining and seeing and feeling, including the things that you aren't even necessarily noticing but are there, that is the Tao It's usually quoted the way of things or the suchness of things, and it can be described in the form of quans, which are basically phrases that disable the conceptual mind and require a understanding mind, a place of awareness that is beyond description to get the point. And for an example of one of these, I could say the mountains are the mountains, but at the same time they are not. Now, at first glance, this appears to just be a gooiness of words, just piling stuff together and making it sound deep and smart. But upon further examination and reflection, you may come to understand that what you believe things are is not what they actually are. And as much as you think to yourself that you know what you're experiencing, or what you're seeing, or hearing, or feeling, your description of what you think it is separate from what it actually is. And I guess I could say that the Tao is what it actually is, inclusive of your description, which is generally quite faulty, because the world is the universe, mental universe, and the physical universe are descriptionless, I believe. It is a happening of continuing to use words to describe it just further shows me what these descriptions lack. And if you're any amount of inclined with Buddhism or Zen or traditional psychedelic use, you may understand the point I'm trying to get across in this video. That trying to describe the Tao it's like being told, I'll give you $1 million if you kill yourself. The jumpy mind wants to take that, wants to take that offer. Oh, $1 million. Nice. But who is going to be enjoying that $1 million if the deal is to kill yourself in order to achieve it? You realize that the $1 million is nothing without the enjoyer of the $1 million. And I guess I could use that as a description of the Tao. That in order to understand the Tao, you have to let go of the one who thinks they're understanding something. I don't know what made me want to make a video on this. I didn't even really have a guideline to what I was talking about, but I found that to be fitting to the essence of the Tao. and how things don't need to be a certain way, and how in fact they aren't a certain way. They just are. Things just are. You just are. A monk once asked his Zen master to describe to him what the Tao is. What is the Tao? Kind of like I'm trying to do here. And the master walked the monk out into the bamboo patch and said to him, "Notice how some of the bamboo is tall while others are short." And the monk was awakened. Now you might think to yourself, what the hell? What about that statement awakened that monk? Well, that's just the power of kwans, those confounding phrases that the masters use to do that, to produce that effect of awakening, where the mind that thinks it's understanding something ceases to go anywhere with it, and it just sort of snubs out, and what you are left with is a gentle overlay of things in every facet of experience. Senses, which basically cover the experience that I'm talking about, the presentness that you are perceiving right now. When the description falls away is when you understand the Tao. But when you know to yourself that you understand the Tao, it falls away as well. The Tao. And you are just left with description once again. It's more than just a ideology of some sort or a educational area. It's not like spiritual politics or, you know, it just simply is what's happening in the act of being in the Tao. Is to dissolve into what's happening, or dissolve out of what's happening. You could put it that way as well. I feel that's basically it on my understanding of the Tao. And this entire video has been laden with unspoken representations of, in my mind, what I believe the Tao to be. I hope you get the belly laugh. So, I'll be back with more videos. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.